If you're making a trip to Singapore soon, don't forget to visit the brand new XM Studios flagship store at Kitchener Complex. Over 19,000 square feet of showcases of brand new and also upcoming items. And I was lucky enough to be in Singapore a couple of weeks ago to take some footage of what's available in the store. Now, this will not be an exhaustive coverage of every single item in the store because frankly speaking, there are just way too many items to cover in one particular session. So not to bore you guys, I made this video with the things that I thought was interesting enough for me to particularly cover. And I have to say, the trip to the flagship store was quite memorable because frankly speaking, looking at the product that is in stock for sale and also those that's upcoming very soon for sale by XM Studios is just so much different, and you appreciate them a lot more compared to what you see posted on social media. The first thing that you see when you walk into the store, you get to see in the center all the main highlights of the item that's upcoming for pre-order, the big bulky items and also the signature pieces such as the Iron Man and the Hulkbuster. I still remember when it first came out in STGCC, that sold out pretty quickly despite the high price, and now XM Studio actually have the brand new War Machine War Tank exclusive that's coming out at 4,500. Only 1,300 available worldwide, and I think for those of you who missed the initial Iron Man and Hulkbuster statue, this is a definitely must buy. Looking at the pictures on the internet and looking at the actual piece itself in the flagship studio, I had to say, it really made me appreciate this item a lot more. You get to see all the details up close, and also most importantly, the immense size of the War Machine itself. Definitely a must have, and I do foresee this thing to sell out very quickly. So if you still are able to get this on pre-order in any of your local retailers, I would definitely recommend you to get this. Now, one of the other item that what you should be watching out for when you visit the XM Studios flagship store is that you get to see some things that will be on early sale that's not made announced on their Facebook page, and that is a new Maestro that's coming as well. This is something that I was not ready to see, but when I saw this particular piece, I was quite blown away at how big the Maestro was at quarter scale, if not mistaken. There's a lot of details, and I think it mimics the comic cover page as well. You get to see Maestro sitting on a throne, and the throne actually is the head of the Sentinel itself, surrounded by all the Marvel characters such as Iron Man, War Machine, Magneto, Thor. It's almost like he beaten all these guys, and he is a collector of their armor and weapon, including Doctor Strange. So it's a very interesting piece. It is also a very large piece as well. So if you're getting this, make sure you have the space to actually cover this up. I don't know too much about Maestro, but I believe this is definitely in the Hulk universe, and it does look very interesting, especially all the accompanying pieces such as the Iron Man's armor, Doctor Strange cape, and everything else. What an amazing treat to get to see this in the flagship store before it is announced everywhere else. Well, this is something else that's coming up for pre-order very soon, and this is the Ghost Rider Horseback edition. If you remember a couple of years ago when XM Studio first released the Ghost Rider on a bike, that pretty much became a hallmark in the collection, and it became a fan favorite very early on. If I'm not mistaken, he also won the Statue of the Year as well. And this brand new version and take of the Ghost Rider looks quite amazing as well. It's a Ghost Rider on a horse with an interchangeable torso and also head. Looks pretty cool, tons of details, and I think if you're a fan of Ghost Rider and you want something unique, nothing that is from the Marvel Cinematic line, I think this is something that you probably want to get your hands off as well. The other thing that's coming out on pre-order that you get to see up close in the flagship store is a Super Skrull. I have to admit, I don't know much about this particular character. It's my first time hearing about this character, but it does seem to be quite interesting. Of Super Skrull with a lot of different powers from Elastic, Hulk, and Invisible, and also the Thing. Looks like everything is jumbled up there as well. The one thing that I was actually most surprised at is looking at the Green Lantern Carburetor. This particular item only has a print edition run size of 499, and when I was looking at this particular piece on social media and also the official pictures, it really did not seem that impressive. But up close, you get to see tons of details on the Carburetor and also the interesting combination of colors of metallic and also gloss finishing together with matte finishing on this particular piece. This is definitely a very well done Green Lantern Carburetor piece that a lot of people will probably overlook because the pictures, frankly speaking, just don't do this particular statue justice. You should definitely check this out if you have the chance. What is coming up as well that I get to see in person is the Dawnbreaker. The Dawnbreaker is a character I'm not too sure about. I think this guy is from DC, so it looks like a cowl, Green Lantern slash Batman sort of a combo. More of a battle damage, very interesting take of this particular character, and it does look very unique. Currently available on pre-order, but what is really unique is in terms of the base, the shadowing, the treatment of detail, and also the paint job is a little bit more matte finish compared to the Carburetor that we've seen before that as well. So if you're a big fan of the Green Lantern series, this is something that you might want to consider. One item that I think most of you will probably be fighting for is this particular statue, the Lobo Statue, coming at only 2,500 and a very limited print size of 198. So I do believe that this particular piece is going to go for very big bucks in the aftermarket because there's only less than 200 pieces available. This is one very impressive statue Lobo that I think is probably one of the best ones that I've seen in the market so far. There aren't that many statue Lobos in the market, and I'm kind of wondering why as well. Also on display are all the upcoming pre-orders from DC line, and that is the Merciless version B. I would say there is a version B and also version A available on Showcase. The version B is one that really caught my eye because I think it definitely looks a lot better in red. And looking at this statue in person, the quarter scale Merciless definitely does look very nice with the battle damage treatment on the particular armor and tons of details on the base itself with skulls scattered across the floor and also on the throne that the Merciless is standing on. There's a very nice rustic treatment color on this particular statue as well, especially on the chains, and you can see the steel pipes across the throne, broken throne, with the very nice gilded sword that the Merciless is holding and the portrait of the lover that he is reminiscing on, which is Wonder Woman. Very nicely done in this particular piece. Only less than 200 pieces available for version B and also surprisingly for version A as well. So I think SM Studios definitely made the right choice to make this into a very limited print for these two particular studios. One item that you may not see on the website anywhere is the brand new advanced sale launch for the Batman Who Laughs on the Dark Knight's death metal. This particular statue is something again that caught my surprise because I was not expecting to see this. I didn't know this was gonna be on sale so quickly because it was not announced anywhere on their website or on their Facebook page. So you're seeing this for the first time if you're not seen this statue anywhere else before. So the Batman Who Laughs, the Darkest Night, definitely looks very nicely done in a lot of detail and the very gory base of all the beasts under him. So definitely a must-have if you're a big DC fan like myself. Standing at quarter scale, it definitely is quite impressive, especially with all the chains surrounding the Batman Who Laughs. The Batman Who Laughs Dark Knight Metal, the other version, which is also going to be available very soon, is also on showcase here at the flagship store. And this one I think is something that a lot of fans has been asking for. This particular piece at quarter scale is also demands quite a presence when you see it, coming in at only 666 pieces available worldwide. So I do think that this is going to be quite fan favorite, I have to say, because the Batman Who Laughs will have 3 dead Robin surrounding him. So yeah, I don't really know what I'm talking about because I have not read the comic yet, but it definitely does look quite appealing to me. The one particular piece that has been snapping up attention everywhere is this particular Batman White Knight Bat Cycle Edition. This particular piece, seeing this for the first time, it is a huge quarter scale Batman on the Bat Cycle. There's tons of details on the Bat Cycle and it's a very nice semi-gloss finish everywhere, and it's definitely a very big piece to assemble and also to place in your collection. I think the entire flowing cape of Batman when he's, doing the screeching halt, just like Akira, the signature Akira pose, this is something that I think most Batman fans would definitely want, because there aren't that many Batman statues with him on the motorbike, as far as I can remember. So tons of details, battle damage treatment on the Batcycle itself, and the base itself also has some other items such as the steel base and also on the lighting in there as well. But perhaps the one particular piece that no one has talked about and has gotten actually very, very little attention, at least according to me, and that is the Batman Samurai line, the Penguin. When I first saw the Penguin, I have to say I was very underwhelmed by the entire piece, but looking at this particular piece for the first time in person, I was blown away, and I've been kicking myself with regrets for not pre-ordering this particular piece, because there's so much going on in this particular piece for the Penguin. There's so much details, especially on the gondola that he's being carried upon by his penguin minions. Tons of details, very nice weathering. The treatment of gold is so beautiful. You really have to see this particular piece in person to appreciate the Penguin. Initially, as I've mentioned, when I first saw this piece, it just really didn't do it justice in terms of looking at the fan pictures and also in terms of the official pictures that have been shared by the official brand across the social media. It definitely looks a lot better. If I could get my hands on this particular piece, I would definitely be putting my money on the Penguin from the Samurai line for Batman. The other particular piece for the villains under the Samurai line for Batman is the Scarecrow. The Scarecrow itself looks pretty simple, I have to say. In the entire sculpt of the Scarecrow face, his costume, it doesn't look that impressive in person, but when you look at the overall piece in terms of the details and the weathering and the base itself that the Scarecrow is standing on, that's where things get a little bit more interesting. Especially when you look at the mouth of Scarecrow, it looks like he has layers and layers of teeth inside his mouth in itself. So the base is the real highlight of the statue for the Scarecrow, and that is something that I think a lot of people probably did not pay attention to. The rustic finishing on that particular base looks really amazing. What is coming up very soon as well is the DC Red Hood Samurai series. This particular piece also looks very simple, because XM Studios, whenever you think of XM Studios, I always think of dynamic poses from their statues. So when I first saw the Red Hood, I wasn't actually very impressed, but up close, only then I get to see all the details on his armor and also on his face. There's just so much detail going on for it, and the very nice semi-gloss finish on this particular statue is very, very clean. Definitely something that I now want after seeing this particular piece in person as well. Something that's already been out, and I really love this piece as well, the Samurai series Robin, in its signature red, green and black, and also, as you can see, that the big R on his chest. It looks very nice. Never thought they could manage to retain the signature colors of Robin and retain it, modify it, and also adapt it for the new Samurai line. Definitely something that you should definitely check out. Okay, so what is cool in the XM flagship store is that they have different sections for different brands. That was the DC line section, and now we will look at very briefly on the upcoming stuff from Marvel. From Marvel, they have Beast, and Beast don't have any weapons or any armor, but when you look at this particular piece, the amount of detail that's gone to replicate his fur flowing all over his body, his face, and his legs as well, that was truly amazing to see in terms of the detailing and shadow paint that they have come to create for this particular piece. So there it is, Beast wearing his sunglasses and fighting with the Sentinel's arm. As you can see, they're ripping it all apart. There's so much details going for Beast that I never thought anyone could make it look sexy, but here we have, that is from XM Studios. There's also the Wolverine in the signature brown and yellow suit as well. This piece has been out for a while, if I'm not mistaken. This is from the Wolverine versus the Ninja timeline, if I'm not mistaken. It looks very nice, tons of details, and also the particular base on top of a Japanese roof is something that I quite enjoy as well. I always dig how XM Studios create that very nice reflective finish on his adamantium claw, so definitely something that you want to check out on. All the other Marvel line is also available here, from Magneto to also something that we have reviewed before, the Weapon X, that you can check out on our channel on a previous video that we've done a review for this before through Big Bang Toys. Thank you very much. It's still available, I believe, if you can find them. And this one particular piece that really caught my eye is actually the upcoming Cyclops. The Cyclops looks pretty good. I actually quite like Cyclops, you know, despite him being the leader of the X-Men. It does look very interesting for both versions. Yeah, definitely does look very interesting because it retains the signature yellow and brown suit for this Cyclops. What is also available on Showcase is the Phoenix. So if you actually display Cyclops version B together with Phoenix side by side, I think it does look a lot more impressive, especially when you have Phoenix at the back and Cyclops in front. It does look to be a very nice pairing for both particular piece if you're a big Marvel fan. So do check out these two amazing pieces at the XM Studio Flagship Store. There's tons of other Marvel Studios statues there, but I didn't get a chance to film them all. Finally, we're covering the Transformers section in the XM Studios Flagship Store. I was very surprised at the two advanced sale items that's being showcased in the Flagship Store, and that is the bust of Optimus Prime and also Megatron, which we'll get through very shortly. But before that, looking at the quarter scale Rodimus Prime, I have to say this particular piece is done very well with a gloss finish and tons of details everywhere. So anyone who has pre-ordered this, I think you guys are going to get your money's worth. Quarter scale, it does really impose its presence no matter where you put this in. And talking about the Megatron and also the Optimus Prime bust, I have to say that one really caught me by surprise because the size of that particular bust for the Optimus Prime was really big. I really wanted this guy, and it's coming in at 5,399. There's tons of details going for it as well. Very nice weathering for this particular bust, and I think that if you're gonna be buying this, you have to get this together with Megatron. Both of them actually has a very intricate base and detail, something that you will not see, and I do believe that the base will light up somehow somewhere in the near future, given that the size of this particular bust. I'm not sure whether they will also light up the chest and also the eyes, because it is not shown here in the Flagship Store. But definitely, as a big Optimus Prime and also Megatron fan, I was really tempted to put my pre-order here. But yeah, unfortunately, at the price of Singapore dollar right now, is a little bit too high for me. The base of both Megatron and also Optimus Prime is supposed to mimic the amazing looking Cybertron for the planet of Cybertron, where these two come from. So tons of details on the base and also on the body of these two particular busts as well. Definitely worth checking it out, because this is where you only see these two particular busts available in person before they actually announce it on their official website and also on the online store of XM Studios. When XM Studios announced they were producing the Godzilla and also the Ultraman line, I was quite skeptical, to be very frank, and the official pictures also look quite underwhelming. But upon looking at the official products on showcase at the XM Studio Flagship Store, I was blown away. I'm now a convert, and I do think that they have done a very good job in terms of the details and how realistic and close it is to the original method they're trying to replicate here. The Shin Godzilla and also the Godzilla 2001 bust is only coming in at 1,299. To be very frank, it is a very good price for the scale of the bust that you're gonna be getting for these two particular characters. The paint job is superb. I did not touch it because, to be very frank, there's cameras everywhere, but it does look very nicely done for these two particular Godzilla. I am a big Godzilla fan, as you guys know, as fans from the channel, but yeah, Shin Godzilla is definitely one of the things that I definitely felt that I want to buy. Next up to the two particular busts is the very interesting Space Godzilla versus the Godzilla 1994, if I'm not mistaken, right? The Space Godzilla, to be frank, when I first saw the official picture as well, it didn't look that great, but looking at the official product on showcase here, only then I realized the appeal of all the crystals that's behind the spikes of the Space Godzilla, and especially those two big spikes on his shoulder as well. Those are actually clear, I don't want to say crystal, but it does look like it. It has a very nice clear finish, and when you look at it, it's almost mirror crystal-like. So there's something that you don't actually see in the official pictures. And upon looking at this, I really like how well they've done in terms of the details on the eyes. It looks very, very realistic, and you definitely will want to pair it together in a big diorama to fight with the Godzilla 1994. So if you buy both version B together with the Destroy City as their base, I think it's definitely a very nice to must have. I do think that, you know, XM Studios definitely has picked a very nice version of Godzilla to create as a product for sale. So both version of Godzilla 1994 and also the Space Godzilla as well, they both look so much better in person. If you get a chance to visit the showcase, go and check out to understand what I'm talking about. The other item that's available in this Tokusatsu area at the end of the flagship store is also Ultraman Type C. I'm a big Ultraman fan, and I'm also a very big fan of XM Studios, but this very museum-like pose of Ultraman is something that I'm not too fond of, to be very frank, because I just think that there's way too many stadium pose Ultraman statues and also vinyl statues out there in the market. So I kind of wish that XM Studios would have done something a little bit more dynamic pose for Ultraman Type C. But given the price that's coming in for this particular piece and how well XM Studios have recreated the full of the costume of Ultraman Type C to make it look like almost like a vinyl statue, to be very frank, when I first saw this, I was like, wow, is this vinyl or, you know, a polystone? But definitely does look very, very nice. The other items that's also available on showcase are all the past statues that's been released by XM Studios, and the one that I've always wanted was the Harley Quinn Rebirth version 2. I am still regretting till today that I did not get this particular piece, because this is one amazing looking dynamic piece showcasing Harley Quinn leaping out from the, you know, cracker box with his hyena, both leaping out together. It's a very dynamic pose, great sculpting on the face as well, and the paint job was excellent. Unfortunately, I missed my chance, and this particular piece is sold out everywhere. Yeah. Also available if you are in the flagship store is also to see all the upcoming pre-orders as well. And this is one very big piece showcase, which is the Justice League America vs. Darkseid version A and B. Version B is, if I'm not mistaken, a smoke, and version A is the colored version, which is the one I think most fans will probably want. It looks very interesting, but this particular piece will require a lot of retail estate on your collection, because this piece looks amazing. So that's pretty much it for my quick review of the XM Studios flagship store in Singapore. I had an amazing time over there. The staffs are very friendly, and you get to see everything all under one roof. My apologies to the CEO of XM Studios, Mr. Ben Ang, because when I was there, I didn't get a chance to say hi to him because he was so busy. The next time I'm in Singapore, I'll make sure I'll pop by and say hi to you in person. So there you go, folks. This is a very quick review of the amazing flagship store of XM Studios in Singapore. If you're in Singapore, it's very easy to get here. Just take an MRT to Kitchener Complex and just walk up to the shopping mall and visit this particular flagship store. So thanks for watching. If you have any comments, please put your comments down in the comment section below. And for those of you who are new to our channel, hey, do subscribe to our channel for find out all the latest news on collectibles. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys very, very soon.